Tapi teman anak kan kalau sini itu biasa kan kalau enggak apa-apa. Jadi dari kamar mandi.
Tes, dicoba.
Oh, dari mana tuh? Tadi. Tapi banget. Hah? Boleh kering. Habis lagi belum boleh kering. Oh, mas. Basah semua. Aduh, nggak ada matahari berkelahi itu kan. Ini pakai ada aja lah. Dari rumah. Apa? Dari rumah atau dari kerja? Dari kantor itu. Pagi. Nggak hujan ya Pak Wakus ya? Wakus hujan juga. Oh iya juga. Jadi dari pagi berarti. Apa? Dari pagi kalau kayak atau iya. Lagi ada di mana? Kemarin ya dia punya. Ya. Ada stand itu kan. Alwi. Biasa. Biasa. Enggak tahu. Tahu dong. Dan Muhammad. Tahu. Tahu siapa? Hah? Kalau ibu saya ngirimnya dia. Oh, di Pakistan itu. Iya, iya, iya. Iya. Kalau saya kan udah di luar. Ini Inggris kan nggak kasih tahu ke ibu gimana deh kalau saya ambil dari diskusi Pakistan aja. Aku juga ibu alhamdulillah juga. Alhamdulillah. Terbiasa. Semoga udah. Semua juga. Kalau setahun ini karena kemarin diskusi sedikit sama ini Mas Husen, yang kan jaraknya 1 minggu Islamic talk. Jadi kadang masuk itu saya juga mulai ini pelajarannya apa ya. Terus muncullah ide bagaimana caranya kalau ada sebelum kelas 10 menit atau 15 menit ada recall gitu. Recall.
Have you received it?
What?
I've sent you the PowerPoint.
PowerPoint?
Yeah.
Practice.
Huh?
Oh, in water.
Yeah. Do you have it on here or the WhatsApp?
Oh, you have it.
Oh yeah, just
I think you bring the.
yeah.
This one?
Yeah.
Cannot, sir.
Oh, now. Yeah. Are you going to fix?
Kelihatan? Oh, sorry. Okay. Yes, sir.
Okay. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Wabihi nasta'in. Assalamu alaikum. How are you doing? Great. Yeah. Hope you had a great day for you today, and hope we're gonna have better days in future. So this session gonna be our last session in general of knowing God. So for the next session, we're gonna speak about the God, His power, the main topic that we are here. So before we start in the main topic, we're supposed to know some stuff about like what is the knowing of God, how do we know the God, and how do we feel the God. So we started in general. But for the next session, as long as it takes for today, maybe we're gonna finish it earlier than 6. I don't know what time, maybe later, but I'm going to finish it for today. So as much as it takes. So today is our last session of general of knowing God. And for the next session, we're going to know about the Tawheed, what is the level of Tawheeds, what is the power of God, how God should be. So we're going to talk about that. And probably for the next session, I'm going to give you this PowerPoint. So because we are done with that, so you're going to have it. And for lifestyle as well, probably next session going to be the last session of general lifestyle. So after that, we're going to have specific topics for the lifestyle. So it's our last session in general, and hope it goes well. We understood about knowing God in the inward God, knowing the way that it's inner, outside, and also we're going to know about the other way. That means like outward way. That's not in our side, like it's just around ourselves, of the creations, everything like that. So today we're going to talk about that. Why we really, the question that we ask a lot, that why we should know about the God, the knowing God, the way of God, who is the God, what power does he have, all of these questions. Because if we don't know about that, if we're not really knowledgeable about that, we cannot answer the nubuwwat, the messengers, we cannot answer the justice, we cannot answer all the usul al-ghayat. So the only way that we can answer that is when we know the God, the ways, who is he, how does he work, what is his power, what does he have to do, what is his job to do, and all something like that. If we know it, we easily can answer to the other usul al-aqaid like nubuwwat, adalat, another world, ma'ad, and imamat. So we go through the outer way, like all of the members of living creature work and are coordinate with each other. As an example, this human body, which is itself a world of work together consciously and unconsciously in a special coordination. For instance, if a danger arises, all are mobilized for defense. Like if you have a disease, you are like, you are cold, whatever happens to you, all your body has to stop that disease, have to defend you. And if one part of your body gets damaged, you will feel it in your whole body because it is sensitive. You have nerves in your body, so you just bring it to other. Like for example, you have a headache, you cannot walk easily, you just get disease. You are like, for example, you have sore throat, except that you cannot eat or drink. Maybe you see that even you don't want to be awake or speak to other people, to do something, because it's not just about your sore throat, because all your body is doing to defend that, and it's like they're just like part of a problem. So it's not just one because of the nerves in your side. So like if you see it's just like a world, our body, like also this world is all same, and it has like similarities, connections, and like work together. One look at the world seems we make it clear that not only all organs of one body of one living creature are in coordination with each other, but all of the various creatures of the world are also in a special coordination with each other. Like, if you see, we cannot have only doctors. It should be doctors, it should be engineers, it should be bakeries, it should be the like president, it should be the other jobs. Every job should be there, like a laborers. We cannot live without the laborers. Same as our body, we cannot, and if we don't have one part of the body, like we have a problem, we're gonna have a problem. Without a kidney, you cannot survive. Without a hands, it's impossible for you to do some works, most works. So yeah, we can say we don't have a doctor in our society. Yeah, we're gonna die a lot. We're gonna have more death in our society. We're gonna face more disease. We're gonna face many problems, but we can survive. Sometimes it's possible to survive, but it's possible to continue as a in a normal life. So as like your body. So each body has a part of a job to do, same as anybody in our world. So each person has a job to do. Have a role for God gave them. Sometimes it's supposed to be like that. Now we want to take a look for some examples and see how this world is amazing and see, is this world with this one dress just made by itself or somebody should make it? Examples from creation. The center of administration of the country of your body means your brain. Our skulls has been filled with the gray matter called the brain. This brain forms the most accurate and exact system of our body because it commands all of the power of our body and manage it. Our brain consists of two separate parts. First, the part which is controlled by our voluntary, which controls of all of our voluntary motions, like walking, looking, speaking. And secondly, the involuntary part, which controls the movements of our heart, stomach, and other things. So why we say it is most important thing in our body, what is the most important is brain, because without the brain, you have nothing. Maybe you have heard some people have accidents. They got like head, injured. So they're in a hospital, they're in a coma, but all their bodies are safe, is in healthy. No problem in heart, no problem in kidney, no problem in liver, no problem in any part of your body, but just your head, your brain. You might see them down in coma. No movement, they're just sleeping, no understanding, nothing happens. So all your body is working except that brain makes it like a fake dead. Someone who's not actually dead, but is almost dead. And people say, if you do not take care of them, they're going to die immediately. There is a story that's happened also in every country happens. But I just saw it on the newspapers that says it was someone went to other city in my country, like they had an accident. They went to coma. All his body was healthy, no problems. After a few days, he come back. No problems, even with the head. But he couldn't remember anyone, including his parents. Like they told him, he's your mom, he's your father. He was like, well, no, I don't know, I can't remember. You are a university student. Can you remember that? No. I can walk, I can speak. I can now memorize right now, but I can't remember my memory. Nothing. So they took him to his house, and showed him like his stuff, like his books, his phone, everything that he had. Told him, can you remember? They tried to make him to memorize. He couldn't. As long as they tried, but they couldn't just fix it. Because one small damage, one small injured, he couldn't come back to this world with his memory. Now he should accept that he's his father and this lady is his mother. He can't remember, but he should just accept because the other people are telling him. With a small damage. This is what we call it a wonderful of creation, wondrous of our creature, the brain. It's the head of everything, the chef. of your body. Without your brain, you cannot have any movement. Without the brain, you cannot speak. Without the brain, you cannot feel, you cannot taste, you cannot do anything. You have nothing. Without the brain, you're just dead. Yeah, the central. Yeah. Without the brain, you're dead. If they take your brain out, you're gonna die. The knowledge is not that improved, that help you without a brain. But if you don't have a heart, they can put something instead of your heart inside your body. If you don't have a kidney, they might have help you in like hospitals. Yeah, implants to do something for you, anything, but except that brain, they cannot help you. You're gonna die. The most important part. And how much is it so small? I can remember since I was born, like some memories, like I can feel it. I can know I was there. I know the studies. How I can memorize that is the wonders of the God, how he created. One of the most wonderful parts of the brain is cerebrum, which is the center of willpower, consciousness, and the memory. In other words, it is one of the most sensitive areas of the brain, and many of reactions of the inner sense like anger, fear, and other things related to it. When I'm getting angry, how do I feel it? From my brain. Someone's done something, but how should I know that should I be angry of that is from my brain. The sensational of everything happens around myself. It's with your brain. The fear is from your brain. Everything's happened with the brain, and now we have nothing to just, when we see it, we have nothing to say. When we just see the God, how is powerful this, even the brain. Another example of from creation is a world of wonder in a small bed. We look at the sky in the darkness of night. We see an exceptional bird which is searching for food with all of its energy. This bird is called bat. Maybe nowadays people are against bats due to COVID-19, but bat is a wonderful animal, not for eating, but when you see it, it's just a wonderful animal. This bird is called bat. There are many wondrous things, but flying at night is among the most wondrous. This bird flies with the same speed and accuracy with pigeons does in the day. This strange ability of the bat is proof of an effect within it, which is similar to radar. Like, I don't know, have you ever seen a bat or not? But I have seen a lot, even in this Islamic culture, when it's night, they just fly around. Even if you go to a cave, you might see them a lot. Without injuring themselves, without hitting anything, they just fly. And you know, they are blind, they don't have any eyes. It's just for beauty, they have it, but actually they don't have any eyes. Without any eyes, without any things, they fly, and without hitting anything, they just fly and go and find their fruits. No problems. How it's possible? If you just throw a pigeon, for example, in the darkness, they might know they can't find anywhere. They can't do anything. They can't find foods. But bats can do anything. Fly, avoiding the things around itself, and find its food. It's wondrous. How is that possible? People say that like some yeah, they have just like radar and just send some noises like to find the places and avoid hitting some places. This happens from a bat. So it's a very small bird, but flies like a pigeon. And this is the wonderful. Can find its food, can do anything. Also, they say the bat's eyes is in his ears. Yeah, wonderful. Well, when I was just reading this and I was searching for the bats, I was like, how is that possible? It's wonderful, like amazing. Um, like in ears, if you like it says, if you take its ears out, they cannot see. They cannot avoid things. Yeah, yeah. They cannot do anything. This may probably they're gonna hit other things as well. So this is the wonderful thing about a small bird called bat. Thus, this bat in its night travels is obligated to its ear. It's proven that if you remove that ears of bats, it cannot fly avoiding things. Ears can stand for eyes. This is the power of the bat. There are many things other like for other birds like eagles, like very interesting. Some like owls. They're very interesting things. But bat was so surprising for me, so that's why I chose it. That's why bat was very interesting. Avoiding everything, even eagles cannot fly in darkness, or they have eyes, but not bats. Another example from creation, love for insects and flowers. You might see some insect in your life like a cockroach. It's like disgusting when you see it, but they also have a purpose of being here in our world. They're playing the rules, their own rules, and now I heard like in some countries they are making some medicines from cockroach to fix the cancer. Like this is just a cockroach. On just imagine the other insects. They have many things to offer for us, like not for eating, obviously. Like I was checking the news in nowadays in European countries, they're trying to give insects to people, especially to kids, to eat those animals. But no, actually, insects are not for eating.
For medicinal and stuff.
No, for eating, actually, for food. Yes, yeah. It's for like your for your lunch. You're gonna eat like insects. Yeah. Yeah, if you go out in Jakarta, in Indonesia, because it usually has warming, it has a warm weather, so you're gonna see a lot of insects. But in most of the countries, like including in Asia's, European and American countries, you have to stay for spring or summer. So one spring day, when the weather is growing warmer, make a visit to a park or farm. You'll meet up with all sorts of small insects, honeybees, flies, butterflies, and mosquitoes, who without making sounds fly from one flower to the next and from this branch to that branch of trees. Without having a problem, they sometimes they don't forget their homes. They know where they should go. Yeah, they have navigations. Easily they navigated. But I have a problem to navigate when they put me in another part of Jakarta. It's very difficult for me to come back.
Without GPS.
Yeah, without a GPS. Like if I don't have any Waze or Google Map, no, that's impossible for me.
Yeah, because you're not familiar, maybe.
Yeah, I'm not familiar. Even if they don't close my eyes, if I'm like seeing the place, but I can't get through back, like I'm turning it back. It's difficult for me. But a very small animal, it's like sometimes very, very small, like maybe you can't see it if you don't focus. They have that radar, they have the navigation. Easily they can find their homes, easily they can get back to the houses or wherever they want to go, they know it easily.
They have a sophisticated device.
Yeah, this is very wonderful for the animals, like they are very small. In truth, they have a very important assignment, which is so great that Professor Liam Brighton says, few people realize that without the work of insects, our fruit baskets would be empty. Yeah, without any bees, there is no flowers. I heard like that. Without insects, animals, there is no trees, there is nothing. So, and we add this that the next year our green garden and pastures would be completely lost. I think gonna be for us if there is no insects.
We depend on them.
We depend on very small animals that's usually uncountable because there are too many. So when we just look at them and we see how the powerful is this creation, who made them? We say God, some people say, but itself. How itself, like creation made by itself, how itself made something such as ant that has a brain, that has like hands, that has everything, but it also can find its house without a problem. How would that become? Just made by itself? How is that possible? It's quite impossible. So when we just look at all those things, when we just think about them, we're going to go through some important things that is like we have nothing to offer. We are empty. We are powerless. So for the lesson 4, we had like 3 lessons before that, and this is the last lesson. In the world of infinitely small things, insects and very tiny animals live around us, which in measured would not even be 2 millimeters, but just like a large animals, they have hands, feet, eyes, ears, and even brains. Like they have, like if you just see elephants, they don't have a very, very big brain, but they have a very big body. They have, but we just say they have brain. But if you see a mosquito, if you see a fly, if you see ants, they're very small. They also have a brain. A pigeon has a brain. A bat has a brain. Without a brain, they can't be alive as well. But a big animal on this planet, like a whale or an elephant, they have brain. Also, that small thing like ants also has a brain, like a mosquito has a brain. It's very interesting. Like when sometimes we see it and speak about it, I'm like, wow, that's impossible. You just hit a fly, say, where is the brain? It's just nothing, but it has a brain. In the mysterious world, we know that smallest creature recognized to date is the atom, the most small thing in the world. I don't want to speak in physics. That's why I didn't bring all things about atoms, but you can search and find out like atoms has like electrons and protons around itself, and it can have many, many things, like hundreds, thousands around it. 2 atoms can be close together and just can mix. Some of them was like interesting for me, but I'm not going to talk about like physics, and it's just like want to know about this. So 1 drop water has more atoms than number of people upon the earth. Just a drop of water. They said, I was like, when I was searching for the atom, they were saying like a small centimeters of water or anything has like, if you want to calculate it, the atoms, you need 1,000 people to work each second. And it takes like 30 years up to 300 years to count it, those atoms. It's very small. And it's very difficult to see. When you want to like, we have very, very great microscope, like saying, see every small things, but to check out the atoms is quite difficult. It's quite impossible. Even with the humans' power, humans' knowledge, it's quite impossible. But atoms give us a lesson in the monotheism, the extraordinary sense of order. They can stand together. a strong sense of balance. Nothing can change the balance, just like quite amazing. The balance was like the saying, wherever you put that stuff, anything, you put it anywhere, it's not going to change. The atom is going to be same. It's not going to change. The third one, the great energy of the atom. When you release the energy of atom, it becomes like a nuclear bomb, and it can kill 1,000 people with a small atom. When you just release and want the power of that, it becomes the greatest power and can kill like 1,000, 100,000 people. And now I was just checking on Russia and United States power. Like they were saying the nuclear bomb of Russia is going to kill more, like 3 or 4 times than what United States has. If United States bomb can kill like 1 city, Russia's bomb can kill like 4 or 5 cities, 3 up to 5 cities. But how is that power? From a small thing that's called atom. This is the power of God. If you want to check out how are these made of, like you can say, is it just made by itself? Like this creation just happened? Like we say the insects and the flowers. Can you imagine this world without trees, without flowers, without any green plants? No, it's impossible. Can you imagine this world without like insects, without the bees, no honeys? No, they can't provide the like trees or flowers. It's possible. Can you imagine without the atom? It's gonna everything could fall down. Imagining like a bat, you might know maybe we don't know anything about bats, how we're gonna affect in our life. But what we know is every part of our human body affects another part. Like our brain affects all my bodies, and my parts of body affects the other parts. It's same as humans, it's same as the creations. Like every creation has an effect our life. Like bees, just can see the 4 flowers for the trees. Also, we can use the honey. How these power gather together? Who made it? So for this session, and the few sessions we had, we were just talking who made these things. We didn't talk about the God. If we check, all of them was just like only about knowing God. Who made these things? So for the next session, going to be our main topic about the God. Why should we know the God? Because we are, as I mentioned, we're just going to know about the other things if we know the God. We're going to make sense for our life. Without that, no sense. No matter. If you want to know about this creation, if you want to know about the number of that, we should know the source of that. We just imagine the river. The river has like the Nubuwwah, the Adalat, the creation, everything that is in that river. But who made that river? The sources came from the mountains, maybe. We should see about that. Those sources made that river to become a great river and live among us. So this is a God. So for the next session, we're going to talk. I was meant to tell a bit about the God, but I think if we just put it for the next session, it's going to be better. All his power, all his almighty, and whatever he has and he can do, and whatever he is. Like I heard nowadays, people in like the materialist people, they say, God exists. That's true. But what is a God? God is a source of power. It's nothing but is a power. Is it true or not? We're going to talk about that. Like a power, sometimes they say God is everywhere. That's true. But it's very difficult for us to say, is God in our sadness? Is he there? Was a history that it's very famous. That was a priest went to a barbershop, and that barbershop was saying, there is no God. If there was a God, why bad things happen to good people? If there is a God, why these bad things happening? When that priest came out of that barbershop, he saw a guy who was homeless and didn't have a haircut, looking very ugly. He went to that barbershop and said, that's impossible to say there is a barbershop here. There is no barber. He was like, I'm here. So what about that person who's sitting outside and looking ugly without any hair and having nothing? He said, that's not my problem. I'm a barbershop, I'm here. He should come to me. So if there is, like, if you see a person who has no haircut or has no good face, it doesn't mean that there is no barbershop. It means they didn't go to that barbershop. If we don't see something, doesn't mean there is nothing. It means we can't see it. Like in Arabic, they say, Adamul Mawjud doesn't mean of Adamul Wujud. Something is like there is not here, doesn't mean doesn't exist. So for this session, it's going to be, we finish off knowing the God. We had a lot, and like we just know, I think it's enough. We can talk about more, like about when we spoke about the creation, we can speak a lot, but I think it's enough. And because I was taught, many people asked me even after the session that we had for Imam Hussein and like that session in Friday, many people asked me when we're gonna go through the main topic. So I just knowing God is something in general. So I'm gonna finish it for knowing God, and I just like gather everything, and I talked so quickly and fast to finish it for today. And for next session, we're gonna speak only about the main topic. Our main topic is gonna be the God, his power, what he is, what his duty, and what we are gonna do for him. Like some people, like for the question that some people come, it's in Quran that says Yadullah fawqa aydihim. It means God has a hand. Are we gonna answer that? Like some people say, like God is standing on his throne, his chair, means he has a body. So we're gonna answer those questions in not just one session, because gonna be many sessions about that, and gonna be, hope it's gonna work. But before that, we had to speak about in general of knowing God. Without that, it's quite impossible. First, we had to know there is God. Then we can speak about it. Firstly, we should accept the Quran. Then we just accept each part and see what does it mean. Like if we accept that there is the last prophet, the last messengers, then we're going to talk about the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. Otherwise, we can't speak about it if we don't believe there is. So all these, it's enough to answer those people who don't believe in God. Like all other things, I think, otherwise they are stupid or they don't want to accept it. It's not. What?
They are ignorance, maybe.
No, they're ignorance, yeah. But otherwise, they should accept it with all these answers. If we just tell them all of these things that we had in our sessions, they should believe in God and accept it. But believing in God has something to come to you, some accepting some orders from God, like the religion, something like responsibilities. But some people, they don't accept it just to say we don't want the responsibilities, but doesn't mean like to ignore the God. say there is no God. You can just accept the God and say, I don't want to do anything. It's like saying there is no sun because I don't want to go outside. It's night. Well, there is sun outside.
So they create their own God.
Yeah, that's made well, they'll create God. So thank you for the session, for attendance. For the next session, gonna have the main topic, the exact time that what we are here. And the next session, this Thursday, actually, this Thursday, the lifestyle. We're gonna finish the general lifestyle. And for the next session, it's gonna be the specific topic. Before that, I'm gonna tell Mr. Eddie to share the topic with you and let you all know. So this is our last session in general, knowing God, general Tawheed, and Thursday going to be the end session of the last session of general lifestyle. What is the life? We just were talking about the lifestyle. So we're going to be the specific one. Thank you very much to everybody. Hope you learned something. And if there is any questions, I will be glad to hear that.
Okay, to all our friends in Zoom, we invite you to join our discussion in this class by open the mic or writing something in chat room. You can open the mic and your video and discuss with us, with Mr. Reza, and also our friend in this class. If you have any question or opinion, let's discuss at the moment. So we assume until this lesson we accept the God, because after this
It's going to be about just only
Yeah.
God. Yeah, we're going to speak the philosophy things and the and also whatever like the other people against philosophers says and Islamic things and monotheisms people say. So you're going to be just about the God, his power, what he is, and what he does, all about the God. It's going to be about our main topic. So at the first we had to accept the God because if we don't accept the God, it's impossible to talk about the God. So now we hope everyone accept the God right now. Yeah, based on you here. Yeah, hope so. So for next session, going to be just the God, the main topic that we are here.
Yeah.
And yeah, for sure, I'm going to share this PowerPoint, just going to make it more beautiful, but it's actually done, but I'm going to make it more beautiful, then I'll share it with you. I'm too lazy to make it very beautiful, but I'm going to make it a little bit. Just a little bit, I'll just put some pictures inside it and then I'll share it. Yeah, to make it more cooler then.
Okay, any question from Zoom? Mr. Radi? Mr. Hussein? Yeah. You first.
Thank you very much. I have some question about the creation and universe. First of all, from Brian, I think this is the very interesting topic for me because between brain and apple, because sometimes the brain is very complicated organs.
Yeah.
Sometimes the human and animals is different. And the big question for me is I forgot. Sorry. Who know about the universe? Because sometimes if we have from Akal, we know the universe, but the Akal in the Islamic philosophy is the imaginary, but the brain is exists of material. This is correct?
Yeah, kind of agree.
Yeah, but the big question for me, how to interconnect between akal and the brain
Like
to know the God.
it's not got from the brain. Just sometimes it's not like we say it's not acceptable from our brain. It is what we ask from our brain to stand against it.
Ah,
It's like when you see a sun, for example, right now, I just pretend that I'm not seeing it. Like when you sleep, when you try to wake you up, then you are awake, but you pretend that you're not awake. So it's not always your brain what it does.
the functionality.
This is just like here. That's what you ask your brain to give you.
Okay.
I accept you as a good human. So as a very good person. I'm not going to see your dark side. I'm not going to see your bad things. But if you do something bad, because you are my friend, you are a good person in my imaginary, I'm going to say that's not true or that's not happened. Or if it's happened, it has a reason.
Okay.
But if someone like Mr. X does it, I'm going to say, no, that's a bad thing. This is how we use our brain.
Okay, thank you.
The brain that like, we don't want to accept that many people were telling the people around the prophet, he's a wizard. Why they were saying that? Because they didn't want to believe it. They were saying that's true. That makes sense. What he says, the prophet, whatever he says, it makes sense for us. But we don't want to believe it. How we not going to believe it? Because he's a wizard. So it's the way that we use the brain. It's not the actual brain does it. It's how we use the brain. Yep. Like when we say the power of the brain, when we say the power of like the insects, we go through that. We're just like a bat. Like imagine a bat can find itself anywhere that it want to go, with like we said, like ears and the rudder. If you want to make it in our life, how do we have it? Yes, we have it like aeroplane. Aeroplane, they should have a rudder inside the aeroplane and the place for the airport. So like imagine they make a big rudders in an aeroplane, they make big rudders in like in airports, they have GPS, they have satellites, they have many things by technology to do the same thing as a bat does. A bat with a small brain, with a small ear, do the same as aeroplane, airport, satellite together. When we go to small things like the aeroplane, when it goes to clouds, when it goes to smog, it's quite tough for them to find a place. They always use the rudder. They can't see, but you see the bats, no problems. They go to the smog, go through anywhere, no heating anything. So our brain is saying that. But sometimes we're going to say, how some people come up with this to say it's just made by itself. I cannot accept that this cup is just made by itself. But I accept that a bat with that power is just made by itself. And I say, no. It's obviously made by itself. How do you want to say God? Can you see the God? If I don't see who made this, it doesn't mean that it's not made by someone. It's like itself. Oh, I don't see who made this glass, so I'm going to say it's just made by itself. This is how we use our brain. We're going to use it in a bad, like some killing people is just like a bad thing, or like robbing a bank or other things. Just imagine all the bad things. It's bad. But we make excuse for that. I'm killing him because he's a bad guy, or I don't know, I'm killing him because he killed my brother. I kill him because he is like stupid. I'm killing him because he is against God. I'm killing him because he doesn't believe what I believe. I kill for other reasons. I rob a bank because banks are corrupted, or I'm going to rob a bank because it's for governments. I'm going to stand the government, so I'm going to rob a bank. I'm not seeing it's people monies. I just make excuses for that. Just that to believe what I'm doing. Make excuses. Like when you see someone who has many failures in his life, not very clever, not having some more achievements, not that much achievement, they're just going to accuse the other people for his fault. Oh, I'm not really a great person. For what reason? Not studying yourself, not having a job? No, because that guy didn't support me. For what reason? Because this world is bad world. I was going to use a bad word, so I didn't use it. Like, yeah, this we're going to accuse other people. It's not just our brain does it, because your brain thinks something else. And they believe it, but just making excuses for that, making some other sense. Okay.
Any question from Zoom?
Actually, I thought it's gonna be finished in 5:30. Like I was like saying, I'm gonna speak fast, gonna say everything quickly, and it's gonna finish in 5:30, but it's actually 6. I didn't expect it.
Yeah, because after this class, after this lesson, there is no debate anymore about is God exists or not. We step to the next lesson, to the specific of God, our relation with God, His power, and etc. So we will fix today about the ways of knowing God and all issues about existing of God.
Yeah, for the next session, going to be with ahadis, the ayat, and our wisdom, the brain that we're going to think about it. So we're not going to just accept the riwayat or the ayat. It's going to be when we're just going to accept it with the brain, then we're going to say yes, is that acceptable?
What is the Shia belief about the people of Kitab, the people of the book, like Jews and Christian? Will they be in the hell forever, or just for temporary time, and then they can, if after the judgment day, they can come to heaven?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, for the belief of that, those Ahlul Kitab like Christianity or Judaism people, like we have many riwayats, and it says like it's not everyone's going to hell, not all of them. Some riwayat says like if they didn't know about the Islams, they're gonna know again. They're gonna have a test again, see if they're gonna accept it or not. There is another thing that says when it's gonna, the raj'ats happen, when the true savior come back here, they're gonna also see how they're gonna test it, because some dead people come back again as well. And we have another thing that says like some of Ahlul Kitab were good people, they were really great. They're gonna have some gonna stay in hell, they're gonna come back. But according to the general riwayat that we have, the general rule of that we see is, if you do not accept the real religion, if you do not accept the God, there is no heaven.
I mean, I'm not like Christian, of course, accept Trinity of, I mean, they believe in God. What about these people? Not atheist, I don't say atheist.
Yeah, believing God is, even Judas people as well, they just believe in God. It's not like I believe there is someone. Like I believe there is God. Right now, we just been talking about the God. So I know there is a God in our society, in our life, who made this creature, but who is he? How am I supposed to know? By his order. What, like, and from a messenger. What I'm going to do to knowing him, to worshiping him, how? It's supposed to be from a messenger. It can't be from me. Like, there is a philosophy, things that some philosopher says, any ways that end up to a God is acceptable. Because maybe you say Muslims go through, for example, Pasar Mingo to reach the God. Some people go from the Kemang, some people go from the other ways to reach God. The closest and the nearest way is, for example, the Pasar Mingo to reach the God. Is acceptable. The Kemang one is also acceptable because you're going to reach the God. But what is the thing that God says is there is just one way to reach me. There's not many ways. Yeah. Like praying, how do I want you to pray is what I say. You cannot say, I'm going to pray to God and worship God by dancing. Like, for example, someone would say, God would accept anything that happens. It's just love matter. Yeah. If you just want to make, it makes sense. Yeah, love matter. What God says, no, it's not, doesn't matter. I don't care about that. It's what I say. Worshipping me is the way that I say. If I want to turn on this, for example, computer, why do I need to ask someone, how do I have to, they say, press this button. I'm going to say, no, I'm not going to press this button. I'm going to press this button. So as much as I press it, I'm not going to reach and open the computer. They say, if you go 5 meters and dig 10 meters down, you're going to reach some goals. But I'm saying, no, not 5 meters. I want to do like 10 meters. 10 meters, I'm going to walk. Then I'm going to dig like 100 meters. You just reach the water. You're not going to reach the goals. The way that you're going to reach is what the God says. Like, as I mentioned before, heaven or hell is not something that God made it to punish or reward some people. It's something that we made it. Like in many ahadiths, we say, when we do good things, they're just building houses for us. When we do bad things, that we're going to stop or sometimes going to be destroyed. So it's us, we're making the heaven, or it's us, we're making the hell. How is that heaven going to build? I'm not with us, but how is it going to be built? I'm in this world. I don't know anything about other world. So God should tell me. So like, for example, I don't know that if you don't give a child milk, it's going to die, a kid. So a doctor tells me, if you're going to give it a milk, it's going to survive. I'm just going to say, no, I'm going to give it a beef. If it's more stronger, I'm going to give it beef. I'm going to die, that kid, with the beef. If it's not suitable for that kid. So everything's, we have a riwayat from Imam Ali that says, are you going to accept to eat, how can I say? Like, sorry for saying, I know the good proper name for that, but are you going to accept to eat your own shit? No one says no. Everyone will say, no, I'm not going to do that. Are you able to smell it? They said, no. And the Imam Ali says, that's why I see from the sins. That's why I'm not going to get close to sins. Because I know how it's bad. So who's going to tell me that that's going to help me? What is going to hurt me? What is going to be something for me to build in heaven? It's God. So I'm saying, yes, I believe in God, but I'm just putting a knife in my belly or in my heart. I'm going to die. I'm going to do sins. Sins is not just robbing a bank. Sins includes everything. Good things also include everything. So, but all those things says, like, we're going to speak injustice for God. What does it justice means? After what is the God? After that, we're going to have the justice. But if we have many riwayats that says, if we just accept the justice from God, nobody goes to heaven. Everyone goes to hell. But with God's mercy, we're going to heaven. And what we have that some people from hell going to come back is from his mercy. Who is like those people, Christianity, all those people, they're going to have the mercy. We have a riwayat also that says those people who accept the religion of the God, everything, but they have made some bad things. Right? I believe everything what God says. I believe it. Starting from knowing him, what he is, till the prophet, messengers, all what he ordered us. I accept it. But I did some bad things. I'm going to hell. But there is that way, the only time that says those people who are going to face the mercy of God, and when they finished their hell times, they're going to go to heaven by the God's mercy, and they're going to get reward, not just what they made. They're going to get reward from what, because they believe in the real belief. So Christianity, Judaism, if they never heard of anything about Islam or real religion, or they were in a community were against Islam, so they were grown up like someone against Islam or real religion. So we have, it depends on God. We have, they're going to test it again. Some, they say they're going to face some punishment, and then they go to heaven. Depends. I don't know how it's going to be happen. It depends on God, but we have that. Yes, it's not all the Christians going to hell, or Judaism going to go to hell, all Muslims going to go to heaven. No, that's not true.
Like,
Add more.
Yeah, you can add more.
Because God already gave the scripture to them as a law.
Like what?
for them.
like,
God gives scripture like Torah, like Psalms, and the Gospel, because it's from God. But in their history, they're making their own laws, their own ways, like Canaanite.
it's like from Wahhabi perspective, like if you are kafir or murtad, you are forever in hell.
No, that's
Cannot go out.
not true. Yes,
That's
it's just
the extreme way of thinking in interpreting the religion, I think.
Because I was a Wahhabi.
Mhm.
So what I learned is that they will be in the hellfire forever. Every murtad, every kafir, except Muslim. If they go, if they Muslim, they can go to hell and then they can come back.
No, we have that like for every religion, that if they were good, even that we have it, a riwayah that says even they were good people, that they've done something good for God's sake, and they have done they were good for people. God gonna, even they were like murtad or they were kafir, God's gonna test them again. Maybe they just converted to the real religion. As I mentioned a lot in our sessions, the mercy of God is too much. So it's not for knowing God. That's why I didn't wrote it. But in the God, we're going to have it. From the next session, we're going to start and speak about his mercy. How is he a great person? Because knowing God is nothing related to mercy, because we just want to know first. But who is the God who has the mercy? Like we have a riwayat from the fourth Imam Sajjad, that says, even if you try to clean all the world with your eyebrow and with your tears, the water, you clean all the world, you cannot become worshipping one of God's mercy. You cannot pay back one of the God's gifts to you, just one of it. So this is a God who shows mercy, and it's not always like we have also a riwayah that from Prophet Muhammad says, I saw a person who was going to the hell and he turned back. God says, what's your problem? What do you want? He said, I did bad things in the world. I believe it. Yes. But I did it because I believed you are going to show the mercy to me. I just did it because I believe that you're going to forgive me. And then from the Prophet Muhammad said, God said to those angels, leave him, let them go to heaven. He just believed in me. We have another riwayah from Prophet Muhammad that someone came to him and asked, who is going to judge in another world? Angels, you, or God? Prophet Muhammad said, God. He just become happy. Oh, this everything's going to be okay. Prophet Muhammad said, why are you saying that? He said, because God has mercy. He's going to forgive me. I'm not going to face people. I'm not going to face angels. I'm not going to face anyone. I'm going to face him. Like, I'm a rich person. Like, imagine Elon Musk. You're going to take 10,000, for example, dollars from him. I'm going to put it in your pocket. Then you come back, he says, okay, just go. I don't care. 10,000 is nothing for me. Even if stealing from him. Even if you ask him, I need $10,000, $100,000. It's nothing for him. Just he'll give you, oh, take it. Because I have too much. That's the God saying it's no reasons for him to punish someone. There is no reasons. Like if we go through our next sessions, from the next sessions, you'll see that God is looking for something that you do to reward you, even very small. So like saying hi. Like we said, it's gonna get reward by just saying hi. Smiling. For what reason? If I was me as a God, if I was a God, I wouldn't just say hi. You should say hi. But saying hi gonna get reward. Like smiling. Yeah, you should smile. Looking at like sad face. There's like, no, it's not acceptable. But even with smile face, it's gonna reward us. Just looking for something to reward us. You're gonna have that a lot. That's so no, it's not like everyone's like 3 billion people are absolutely going to hell, or just 1 billion people especially going to heaven. Like that, we have some rules for that, and there is a justice, we believe, and everyone going to get their reward. And as I mentioned, yeah, if we don't believe, if we don't accept, and we do stand against God, no, there's no reward, there is no heaven. That's true. But everything that you've done good, you're gonna see it. Like either this world or another world. Add more, yes, you can add more.
Because basically the religion from the Abrahamic faith is one. Because in the Torah it was said, Shema, Israel, Adonai Elohim Adonai Echad. It means that, oh, people of Israel, that our God is Elohim, Allah. Our God is one. And Jesus also said in the gospel, like, me and my Father are one. This is like the same, the Tawhidic religion. So what's the basic of Islam means? Islam means total submission to God's will. That's like how other prophets do, they submit in God's will. So basically it's the same religion. But in the journey of that religion, it become distorted, and then people making their own laws, and then it becomes just like now. And then that's why God also sent Prophet Muhammad to make it clear. It's like that, in my opinion.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, from our
Yeah, sure.
Say here that the atom is the smallest creature recognized, but at the same time, we call it in mysterious world. How you explain this? For example, like, in the sea, as far as you know, it's the smallest, teeniest creatures. It's called plankton.
Yeah.
So how we compare this?
Compared to what?
I mean that the atoms can be explained more
Small, yeah.
compare like the plant we can see how thin is it the atoms. But it's called mysterious world, but we can recognize it as something difficult to
Mysterious
understand.
world, but why we say it's mysterious, because we always like we have also in a riwayat that if we just open 2 doors before the true savior come back, after if we just open the 2 doors, they're going to be 27 doors still is not open. So like yeah, if you go deep to some, for example, seas that you mentioned, there are some places that even humans couldn't reach it. They never seen. It's just like nobody were there in deep waters. Also, when we say the mysterious world, it's not just like this Earth. It just mean the other planets, other galaxies. Yeah, everything that's created. So that's why we say it's mysterious, because we don't know enough about it. Like even right now, what we say like about the medicines, like it has a like everything that disease are come from, there is something for to stand against that in our world to find a medicine from them. But can we just fix it right now? Do we know it all of it? No, we don't know it actually. Yeah. So and about the smallest thing, did you mean like planktons are the smallest, or
The smallest ones.
so even the planktons are made by atoms?
Wow.
So like planktons, if you just imagine this planktons, they're gonna have many atoms inside. So everything's we have in our world is just made by atoms. Without the atom, there is nothing. So the smallest thing is gonna be atoms, gonna through that. Yeah,
Thank you.
that was your question. Did I miss anything?
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, from Zoom, I have a question: how to rebuild hidayah when we are far from Allah? I mean, how to effectively build guidance when we fall into disobedience? Because I think knowing God through His creation is not enough when someone doesn't have fight in his heart.
I think that was 2 questions, right?
Uh,
I just
yeah,
like
yeah,
God,
yeah.
yeah, like rebuilding and the faith. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
it was like 2. If I'm not mistaken, or yes, it was like 2 for me. If
Do you want to read?
no,
more?
it's okay. So yeah, for rebuilding, that is something called Toba. It's gonna be finished. Yeah, believe in Toba and just say Toba. Do it like, oh, sorry, God, I made a mistake, and believe in it. Like, not just, oh God, I made a mistake. Like, okay, I'm gonna do it right now again. No, I believe that I made a mistake, and I'm so sorry for that. Gonna rebuild it. Gonna be finished. I'm gonna do it again. Like it happens for me. For example, I broke this cup. I'm gonna say sorry, but I'm gonna do it not just with my body. Just I will do it in 10 days later. I can say sorry. 100 times I made it. I can say sorry, because in riwayats we have that. Like say even 1,000 times you say you made it, you can say sorry. Someone says, have you, someone came to one of the imams, I can't remember right now, says like, I've done loads of sins. It's like, no, it's too much. Imam says, God's going to forgive you. He said, no, I've done a lot. Every time I broke my Tawbah, he said, is it your sins bigger than desert or seas, oceans? He said, no. And Imam said, is God greater than oceans, deserts, and seas, everything in this world? He said, yes. He said, yeah, God's going to forgive you if you are asking for the forgiveness. Like we're going to speak about it. When you're doing good things, it's not just like being, if you just want to see that thing, good things, it's nothing actually. It's nothing you've done. But when you compare it to God, when you just relate it to God, when you just connect it to the God, it makes it bigger because God is big. Why we say all the sins is bad and all the sins are should be stopped not doing it? Because when you connect it to the God, you become bad. Like, I'm going to insult someone, maybe he's my friend. Maybe it's not really that showing so bad. Maybe it's common. But when you connect it to God, God asks you to not do that. When he's from a great source of the power, that sins become great. That's why we say, like a drop of water is nothing. But that drop, if connected to the seas, is going to continue. It's going to survive. So if our good things connected to God, are going to continue, going to stay, going to survive, and also our sins, because it's against the God. It's not against you. It's not against me. It's against the God. So that's why the sins become great and harmful for us, and the Tawbah, why it's become acceptable for God anytime, because it's greater than our sins. For that reason, and for faith, yeah, we had that before. Like, what does a faith means is believing. The faith has levels. Like, for example, I say there is a majlis of dua, like the praying. I'm not going there. I'm going to sleep. Doesn't mean that I don't believe it. I don't have a faith. No, I'm lazy. That's a lowest, for example, level of faith. But it's faith. I believe it. I accept it. But I'm lazy to do it. Does it mean that I don't believe in God? No, I don't. It doesn't mean that. I mean, I believe it. I believe in God. I believe that's a good thing. But why I'm not going there is because I'm lazy. So I've done bad things. Doesn't mean that I don't have faith. No, I have faith. Well, is it going to be good to have hope for God saying to forgive us? That's one of the important things for us, that you should have the hope. The hope is going to help you, because without the hope, it's because the question I think was just hope is not enough. Yeah.
Knowing the God is not enough.
Unknowing the God. Oh yes.
Knowing God through His creation is not enough when someone doesn't have fight in his heart. So maybe, maybe the first question, knowing God is same with as believing the God.
Knowing God is, believing in God, it's just going to be the same. You're believing God, but
I mean
faith, like I think what he said was like believing God's patience. Like God is patient person. Like the God is someone who's not going to get mad easily. And yes, that's one of the important things. The hope and believing in God's patience is more important than anything. Like, if I have a hope for forgiveness, that's when I'm going to ask forgiveness. Like, I know if I ask you to lend me money, then I'm going to ask you, right? If I don't have any hope that you're going to give me money, I'm not going to try. That's why when I say hope is the most important thing. Like we have in our usul al-aqaid, khawf wa raja. Khawf means scare about the God, while you have the hope from the God. Like, I'm scared to do these things. I'm scared to do not obey the God, but also I hope when I did something bad, or I will do something bad, God is going to forgive me. That's why, like, we should have the hope and the scares at the same time. Is there any question? Like, can he explain it more if we want? Like, if I didn't answer the question correctly,
you want to
add something more.
respond. How is the answer, Zainab?
so far not yet, but yeah, so far not. So far it's enough.
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 Okay. She said enough.
Enough, okay.
Yeah, interesting topic for me about the example atoms. A lot of scientists can mention to God, not fly a die.
Yeah, like,
Because the get to listen to monotheists, a lot of scientists believe God. Thank
yeah,
you.
when I was like researching for atoms, I faced like 5 or 6 articles.
Yeah.
It was too much. I wanted to bring it here and speak about atoms to show how God is powerful. I said, no, it's enough. They're gonna have this and they're gonna search it for themselves. Yeah, like,
Because I am physicist.
yeah.
Thank you very much.
Oh, great. No, my pleasure. So, yeah, like I just did it all to get, I could speak for all like few sessions, but because I wanted to finish it, I said, okay, now is enough. Just to give you a clue, then they can just find it for themselves. Any other questions do we have?
Can you mention, repeat your specific topic for the next?
Okay, for the specific one is starting from the God, the Tawheed. Who is the God? This is the actual thing. And the real, when we say the Tawheed include knowing the God and who is the God, what he does, all his power, what he looks like, and everything's included the Tawheed. We started from knowing the God in a general to say we believe in God. Then we're going to go through the Tawheed, the main topic of the Tawheed. Who is the God? So for the next session will be the main of our topic, like who is the God? The Tawheed. The Tawheed is going to be the Tawheed. And yes, there will be the general. We're going to be finished for today, and the next one will be specific, like about the God, because this session that we had, it was only about the creation, the creature, like about is all we know. There is God and existence of God, but we didn't speak about who is the God, what he does. So the next session we're going to speak about the God, specifically the God, and also the lifestyle. For the next session we're going to be the last session of general lifestyle, and the next one going to be the specific. I think you're going to be finished, right?
Yes.
I'm really sorry. I thought it's going to be finished at 6. That's why I just talked fast and quickly to finish at the 5:30, but it finished in like 10 minutes to 6.
The next session will be more detailed.
Yeah, it's going to be more details, but I don't know, probably it's going to be finished quickly. Even with this session that I thought they're going to be finished in 30 minutes, it took like 1 hour and a half. But next session, hope it's going to be less. Yeah. Thank you very much for attending this class. Hope it was something for you and it's going to help you. And don't forget me in your prayers. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you for all our friends in Zoom. See you on Thursday under theme Islamic style, understanding about Islamic style. Okay, thank you. So, see you next time.